But let's move on to our player ratings. We'll start off with big Vicario. 6s all round from us. Bit frustrating because I felt like he struggled massively with the set pieces. They were clearly targeting and crowding him in the first half, but I did think he got better from that aspect in the second half. He was claiming the corners a lot better. There was about 2 or 3 corners that he just came out and caught, but he's got to get stronger from, the set pieces. I did feel it was a bit of a foul of him with the player backing into him, and then he ultimately needs to be a bit stronger though. He did make some really good saves, one from a corner in the first half where he got down low and kept out with his feet, which looked like it was on the line, and another couple of saves on the day which were fairly impressive. So I don't have too many worries with Big Vic, but it does seem like a theme now where they're targeting him from set pieces.
Yeah, I think he improved. So I thought if we were basing off the first half, it was probably like a 4 or probably a 4 or a 5, because obviously he did make some good saves, but he massively struggled from those set pieces, and it was something that they were constantly putting him under pressure for. Even when he did get something on it, it didn't look entirely convincing. He was struggling to deal with them. But I'll give him credit because he came back into the game in the second half and started to really dominate those set pieces, started to come and claim the corners, and he made some good saves as well. So overall he was okay, but obviously that first half he definitely struggled, and that's something we're going to have to think about moving forward of how to deal with those set pieces. Maybe he needs more protection from his teammates, because at the moment it just seems that they're allowing an Everton player to stick on him, and it's something that is really costing us at the moment.
Yeah. Let's move on to the right back, Pedro Porro. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him a 7. I thought Porro was really good defensively. Once again, I thought the last couple of weeks his defensive performances have been top notch, to be honest, and I think this was another example of it. On the ball, not as creative as maybe it has been in the past, but again, I think the last couple of games it's been a similar story from Pedro Porro, where his defensive displays has been better than his offensive displays. But he did get in good positions in the second half, had a really good effort which the keeper was equal to. From where I was sitting, I had a massive pole in front of me, and I thought that was going in, to be fair, but it wasn't to be. I did feel like in the first half, when the midfielders kept losing the ball, I felt like he was the one actually trying to keep the ball and keeping the ball well and feeding the midfield. But yeah, I actually thought Porro had a fairly good game.
Yeah, I think he was okay. Didn't influence the game as much as I think we know he can. I thought he was much better in the second half. I agree with that. I feel like his passing in the build-up wasn't as effective as I've definitely seen it from him in previous games. So I thought defensively he dealt with Dwight McNeil in open play pretty well. Obviously McNeil had a big influence from the set pieces, but in open play he was pretty quiet. I thought Porro had a decent game. I don't think he did anything special. I thought he defended well, but I'd like to see him have more influence like he usually does on the ball.
Yeah, let's move on to Cuti Romero. 6s all round for Romero, and I thought by and large for the majority of the game Romero had a really good display, aggressive, winning duels time and time again, and just a really good defensive display. But it's these little mishaps, these little lapses of concentration that that we keep talking about with Cuti in recent weeks, to be honest. And there was one, I think it was in the first half, which was really frustrating, where he just gave the ball away needlessly. And then it all comes down to that the last chance where Branthwaite scored at the back post, where it just hits the top of Romero's head and it falls to Branthwaite at the back post. And it's just not something that you need from your captain going into the last seconds of the game.
Yeah, very frustrating that ended up costing us points. I did think in general he was pretty good. I agree with you. But it's those big moments which at the moment it seems as though whenever he does something bad, it seems to be costing us a goal. And that's what happened right at the end. He gets the header all wrong. It flicks onto Branthwaite and they get the 2-2 draw. I thought in general play, when he's being aggressive, he's getting those tackles in and setting us up on attacks. It's really, really positive. But I thought in general he had a good game, but a couple of moments were putting us under pressure. And unfortunately, one of them cost us. So I only gave him a 6 in the end.
Mickey van der Ven, gives him an 8. I gave him a 9. I thought another top quality display from Mickey van der Ven yesterday. I don't think he put a foot wrong, to be honest. He was there time and time again, making those recovery runs. His sliding tackles are absolutely pinpoint every single time, and he just didn't deserve to lose, to be on a team that didn't win yesterday. That performance was top quality.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. pretty much didn't put a foot wrong. He's so aggressive when he's running in behind, and you see him charging towards you. There's nothing you can do to stop him. You know he's getting there first, and it doesn't matter who they got running onto it. Van der Ven's going to get there first, and he's so confident. He's so good at anticipating that danger as well. I thought he had a really, really great game. The only thing is maybe could have done a bit more when it on the ball, progressing upwards. I don't know if he was that effective, but we had other players for that, thankfully, and I just thought he did his job brilliantly yesterday.
Destiny Udogie at left back. Sim gives him a 6. I gave him an 8. So quite a different rating here. But at the start of the game, obviously, he gets high up the pitch, bundles his way through with a nice little pass from Timo Werner, plays a really good ball into Richarlison, and we all know what happened next. So a really good assist there from Destiny Udogie. I thought he defended really well throughout the game as well at left back. And look, I thought he was influencing the game really well. And I think in terms of the last game where he made all those stupid errors, I think he cut that out of his game, and he performed well.
Yeah, I think he did well in certain moments. There was obviously the assist was really great, got down the left hand side, great ball to Richarlison with the goal. There was also one occasion that in the second half he bundled his way past like 2 or 3 players to get into the box and set up. I think it was Richarlison who had a shot blocked, and that was like classic Destiny Udogie, just using his physicality to bundle past you. But I actually felt like there were a lot of occasions he struggled in build up, and he kept losing the ball with bad passes and bad decision making. There was also a few occasions I felt he could have released Werner into space and either didn't see him or just didn't play him, and that could have been some good situations for us, so that was really frustrating as well. Defensively up against I think it was Harrison Ashley Young, I thought he did pretty well. I thought Young was giving a bit of trouble in the first half, but in the second half he had absolutely nothing. So I think in general it was a good display from Destiny, but I don't know whether it's fatigue or something, but some of his decision making, the build up hasn't been great in recent weeks.
Yeah, I understand. Maybe we can split the difference and say he performed at a 7 yesterday. I think 6 is a bit too low, but maybe 8 is a bit too high as well. So let's say 7 for Destiny yesterday, because, yeah. Let's move on to the midfield. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, 5s all round for Pierre. I mean, a very up and down game for Pierre yesterday, to be honest, in my opinion. I thought on the ball, he was horrific. I thought off the ball, he was really good and provided some bite in the midfield for us, and just kept running around, winning the ball back a few times. But on the ball, particularly in the first half, just kept passing it back to Everton time and time again, and his inability to try and win successfully those second balls, well, that goes for the whole team, to be honest. But I thought Højbjerg was a big culprit of it yesterday.
Yeah, and there's some things Højbjerg does where it just riles, it gets your blood boiling. It riles you up because like simple passes that any midfielder should make, and he just needlessly inaccurate, lack of care, giving it away. And it happened a few times. Yeah, it happens a few times every game usually with him, but it happened quite a lot yesterday as well, and that was really, really frustrating. But there are also sometimes where, you know, Everton on the attack and he puts in a crunching challenge, and he recovers the ball, sets us up on the attack, and all of a sudden, you know, you're thinking he's such a valuable member of the team. But those on the ball moments, it's hard to look past, especially when they're so glaring and they're so common as well. It's very, very frustrating, especially near the end of the game as well. It was quite frustrating. So again, a mixed bag. Look, Højbjerg, sometimes in these kind of games when he's up against an aggressive team who are going to impress you intensely, he can struggle to make quick decisions and play quick passes. In other games, it's much more suited to him. So it is what it is with Højbjerg. We know he needs upgrading, but it's no surprise really, this kind of performance.
Rodrigo Bentancur, 4s all round from us, carrying on another string of poor performances from Rodrigo Bentancur. I'm not sure if it's him still trying to come back to full fitness from his injury, but he has played quite a bit of football now since he has returned. I mean, what was his first game back? Was Burnley, wasn't it, in the FA Cup, which was right at the start of January. In the first
Burnley, Bournemouth.
Well, that was even before that. That was on the 31st of December. So he's been back for a while now. So you would have think he would be up to full speed, seeing as when he came back from the ACL, he started off at like 100 million miles per hour.
You got to remember he was rushed back though. He was kind of rushed back, wasn't he? Because they said, Ange said against Bournemouth, like he was set to be out for like another month, but he wanted to be part of the team so much. But obviously you shouldn't really be playing him if he's not fully fit. Obviously, yeah,
it's very true. But you got to call it how you see it on the football pitch, and he's just not playing well enough at the moment. What you associate with Rodrigo Bentancur is how well he can keep the ball, how well he can beat the press, how well he can take it round players, and we're just not seeing any of that at the moment from Rodrigo. I thought There were a lot of lazy passes in there, particularly in the first half. He kept giving the ball away time and time again. And I just failed to see anything really positive in there from him, unfortunately. And I think when he was taken off, it was rightly so. And I was actually calling for him to get taken off at half-time yesterday, to bring on Pape at half-time, but he didn't do that.
And that would have been his second game in a row. He's taken off at half-time. That did happen. I actually thought he was a bit better in the second half. For those, I think he was only on for 15 minutes in the second half, but he started to be a bit more confident. He was even taking the ball, taking people on in his own penalty area and beating their press, and he was starting to be a bit more confident, but definitely off the pace in this one. Bentancur, he was getting hounded. He was making bad decisions on the ball. He was giving it away, couldn't keep the ball at all. Off the ball as well, he just wasn't getting close to people. He wasn't getting challenges in. He just again seemed off the pace. So it did seem to me like, I just feel like physically he's not there at the moment. There's something off with him. I don't know. I don't think it's a case of he's fully back to full fitness and he's just having a bad period. It doesn't seem that he's physically fully up to it right now. And I don't know whether he was rushed back and now we're seeing the consequences of him being rushed back at this moment in time. Maybe when Basuma gets back, he can kind of go back to the bench for a bit until he's fully up to speed. Maybe that's the case. I'm theorizing, but definitely off the pace in this one, and it's hard to watch at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to James Maddison. 7 all round for James, and I think he put in a much better display. You know, he was trying to dictate the play. He seemed like the only one in midfield with any real bit of quality, and that was quality that we saw for the second goal, wasn't it? Because it was a lovely flick back to Richarlison, and obviously Richarlison did the rest, but I don't think it was a vintage James Maddison display by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely more positive than the last game. And you're seeing him get back to his best. And I think we'll keep seeing him grow and grow now.
Yeah, you got to remember, it's only a second start since that 3-month injury. And I do think he's getting better and better as the minutes come. He's looking sharper. He's looking like he's more creative in those little pockets as well. That little flick for the second goal was great. I think he played for the first goal. Was he involved in the first goal as well? I can't remember, but the second goal, I think he plays the pass in behind to Werner, and then he gets the pass back from Werner, flicks it into Richarlison, and obviously got the goal. Had a couple of nice efforts from the edge of the area as well, forced Pickford into a couple of saves, which on another day maybe could have gone in. I thought that was really good. There was one moment that frustrated me a bit. He got put through one-on-one. Sorry, not one-on-one, but he got put through on goal. I can't remember who by, but he goes streaming through and he's got two defenders coming either side of him, and he's got Werner to his left, kind of delays the pass. I think he tries to get the shot off instead of playing in Werner, and unfortunately the defenders caught up with him and got the tackle in. I think if he plays that pass to Werner, squares it, there could have been a real opportunity there. So that was a bit frustrating. But other than that, I do think out of the outfield players in the mid, especially midfield, definitely the one who looked most up for it, looked most sharp, and the one was that seemed to be able to compete with Everton in the midfield, whereas the other ones were just giving the ball away time and time again. So he was one of the few positives on the day.
Yeah. Let's go on to the forward line, and Brennan Johnson. Sim gives him a 4. I gave him a 3, and I was really frustrated with Brennan in this game. I mean, he gets the ball in good spaces. He gets the ball when, he's one-on-one with his fullback, albeit quite high up the pitch, but that's the spaces that he should love. He should be able to knock it past his defender and use his pace and burn down that right-hand side, and he just doesn't do that. He seems weak, losing the ball time and time again. He has no confidence to take on his fullback at all, where he should be, and that should be his forte. And I just didn't see anything positive in there from Brennan yesterday in a game where we really needed him, to be honest. And I'm starting to get really frustrated with him, to be honest.
Yeah, another really bad display. There's no two ways about it. Giving the ball away constantly, not even being in good positions to kind of make an effect in the final third, not holding on to the ball when he's being played simple passes where he just has to link up with his midfielders or keep possession, trying flicks around the corner which aren't coming off as well. And he did provide one moment. He got in behind Mykolenko, played a good pass to Werner, but Werner kind of waited for the ball and the chance was gone. So apart from that good ball across the face of goal from Brennan, offered absolutely nothing, and it's really, really frustrating. And the last few games for him, obviously he did score last game when he came on, but apart from that moment, he's just not offering a lot at the moment, and he needs to up his game and improve, because at the moment I'm not seeing many signs of improvement right now.
Yeah, there's a problem though, on the right hand side of the attack at the moment, because Brennan just seems too weak at the moment. Like, I do back him to improve. Like, we saw, like, in the first season, Richarlison was here. Nobody saw anything in his play for that first year. And I think it could be a similar case for Brennan. You know, nobody's seeing anything with Brennan at the moment, but hopefully he can improve. And I do back him to improve. But in terms of the right-hand side moving forward this season, I mean, Kulusevski's not really showing much either at the moment. So, I mean, I don't know which way we go.
I wonder if there's an opportunity once Son comes back, you put Werner on the right, Son on the left, and Rishi up front. Maybe we can try that and gives us some options at least.
Yeah. But let's talk about Timo Werner now. 6s all round for Timo. There seems to be a consistent theme since Timo's come into the side where he makes these really good runs and he gets failed to doesn't get picked out. And it happens quite a lot. I think maybe it happened a lot more in like maybe the Man City game than it happened in this game yesterday against Everton. But there was still an element of that yesterday where he was making these good runs, finding himself in good spaces, and he's just not getting picked out. The times that he did get picked out, obviously he was involved in both goals that we did score. But apart from that, every time he did get picked out, unfortunately, it wasn't of the best quality that he used the ball with.
Yeah, I thought he was decent. Again, makes an impact within the team. I think he contributes to the team, which is really positive. It's like comparing him to Brennan, you can argue the output was obviously similar, but I think Werner just makes a lot more of an impact in the team tactically than Brennan does. He gets in better positions, he makes better runs, and obviously, as we say, for both goals, played a nice ball in behind for Udogie for the first one, and made a good one for the second one, which he passed back to Maddison. So he's getting involved. He's making an impact in the team. But when it comes to him, himself, when he's asked to get a good ball across the face of goal, when he's asked to finish a chance, those moments he was found wanting yesterday, unfortunately. I thought overall, he made a good impact in the team, but for your attacking players, you need that quality in those crucial moments, and those moments he was found wanting. That moment I talked about before, where Brendan plays a ball across the face of goal, he needs to be attacking that shot. He can't be waiting for it. He has to have that confidence to go towards the ball. There was at one moment where he was offside, but he was put through one-on-one with Pickford, and it was just a weak finish. Pickford easily saved it. Like, I want to see a confident finish in those moments. So I still think there's more to come from Werner. I'm still encouraged by it because he's still making impact in the team. But I'd like to see a bit more from him in those crucial moments.
And then last but not least of the starting 11 was Richarlison, the man on fire at the moment. He gets a 9 all rounds on his old stomping ground in Goodison Park, scores 2 goals in the first half. Could have had a hat-trick in the second half, to be honest, but those goals in the first half were of highest quality. Great finishing from Richarlison. The first one, obviously the ball gets played into him from Destiny Udogie, first time finish into the top corner. The second one is something that we've been dying to see from Richarlison ever since joining. A really good finish from the edge of the box into the top corner. I thought apart from that, maybe it wasn't his strongest game as we've seen in the last couple of weeks, but I still think it was positive where he was dropping deep, winning the ball back, and also some fairly good link-up play, but I don't think it was maybe as strong as previous weeks.
Yeah, I felt like his overall game wasn't as good. I thought Tarkowski was doing a really good job on him in terms of being really physical, not letting him make the ball stick. And also as well, I was very frustrated with him in the latter stages, in the last 5 minutes, where he was needlessly giving the ball away in really dangerous areas, putting us under pressure for no reason. But you can't take away from his ability in the final third. He got 2 unbelievable finishes, one volley with his left foot, one beautiful curler on the edge of the area with his right foot. Maybe we're starting to see that really great finishing ability that we saw maybe at Everton, where he can really have good ability to take shots around the box, not just poachers' efforts, but actually quality finishing as well. Maybe we're starting to see that from Richarlison. And he nearly got a hat-trick as well. Good ball in behind from Kulu, and decent effort as well, which Pickford was equal to, unfortunately for Rishi. But as you say, maybe what avoided number 10 was maybe his all-round game wasn't as good as it has been in recent weeks. But those finishes, hopefully we have more of those. He's only four behind Haaland. Maybe he's in with a shout of being up there in the top goal-scoring charts. 2 behind Sonny as well. Unbelievable. He's in a proper rich vein of form at 9 and 8.
Richarlison, crazy. From where he's come from last season, 1 goal throughout the whole season, to get double figures now, 10 goals in the campaign. He's battering away all the haters, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, and I think no one can really complain. And what's important as well, he's really stepping up as Son has been away. He's like being a source of goals, and it seems as though, less like Richarlison scoring, we're really struggling in that element as well. So you got to give him credit for taking up that burden at the moment.
Yeah, Totally. Let's move on to the substitutes. We're going to rate 2 of them. First one in Pape Matar, who came on with about half an hour, 25 minutes to go. 6 all round for him. Really good to see him back, to be honest. We've needed him and his legs in the middle of the park, and I felt like he impacted the game positively when he came on. I did feel like I've been banging on about it for pretty much ever since he's been out, that he gives us so much balance to the midfield, and I think he did that again when he came on yesterday without doing anything too spectacular. I thought he had a really good cameo.
Yeah, I thought he was definitely provided something for the team. Unfortunately, I felt like he wasn't as good when we went to a back 3 as we were when he was in a midfield 3. I thought he really impacted the game, gave us a bit more energy. There was a couple of occasions as well. He was able to press the Everton midfielders, win it in a good position to set us up on attacks. So that was really positive. Yeah, as you say, was a bit of a steady cameo. I wouldn't say it was anything amazing, but he was definitely better than the likes of Højbjerg and Bentancur when he came on.
It's just so good to see him back, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
In terms of the last substitute we're going to rate in Dejan Kulusevski, Sims gives him a 6. I gave him a 4. The main reason I give him a 4 is just because of that stupid free kick that he gave away right at the end. It just, I was going mad at him, to be honest, from the stands at Goodison Park, and just like, why do we have to give away these needless free kicks in that kind of phase of the game when we know how strong Everton are at set pieces? It just wound me up massively. He did create a chance when he first came on, which was positive, but apart from that, I thought he was poor. Yeah,
I agree. I thought he made a bit of an impact. Definitely offered more than Brennan Johnson did on that side when he came on. Set up a chance for Rishi, as you say. I thought he was able to give us a bit more control in the game, make it stick, keep the ball, link with other players. But near the end of the game, they were pressing him really, really intensely, and he had very little answer. And he gave the ball away just before he gave away that free kick as well. And it felt like he was trying to make up for giving the ball away, and made it even worse, because the last thing you want to do in that situation is give Everton a free kick and give them an opportunity to get men in the box. And that's exactly what happened. So ultimately, it was a frustrating cameo, but I did think he improved us a bit when he did come on, and he was okay. And also, there was a moment as well. He wins the ball in the middle of the park from a really good tackle, sets up Pedro Porro for the shot, and that was a good opening as well. But unfortunately, yeah, at the end of the game, he gave away the free kick that cost us.
Last but not least is Ange Postecoglou. Sim gives him a 5. I gave him a 6. I don't have too many problems with the starting lineup he chose. I mean, we still don't have too many options. I'm sure if Pape was ready to start, he probably would have started in the game yesterday, obviously just coming back from the AFCON. But he needs to find a way to get consistent points away from home at the moment, because we're just not picking up nowhere near enough points away from home in recent weeks. He's got to figure out why we're conceding so many late goals in games, because this is a consistent theme now which keeps on happening throughout the season. I thought his in-game management and changes he made throughout the game didn't fail to help us really impact the game. I think the only positive change that he did make was Pape Sarr, which I thought he had a good cameo, but we're vulnerable at the moment. We're really vulnerable, and it's a problem.
Yeah, the fact that we keep conceding chances late on in games is something he needs to address. I feel like his subs didn't impact the game positively. And I don't have a massive problem with the personnel. It's just, I look at the impact they have on the game and how the game changes once he makes the subs. I feel like we got worse when those subs came on, and it didn't impact the game
Brian
positively.
Hill was a needless sub, wasn't it?
Well, if Werner was tiring, he wanted to bring on a winger.
I know he's never going to impact that game.
Yeah, I understand that. So you can say we should never ever play him, and that's an argument. But
no, but against Everton, the most physical side in the league.
So maybe,
even more so.
So maybe I don't know who else he could have brought on. But if Werner's tired, he needs to bring someone on, and he decided he was the only winger we had on the bench. So unless he brings on another midfielder, I don't know if we had any other midfielders. So I don't know what he does if he wants to take Werner off if he's tired. Maybe he should have kept Maddison on, but I don't know if that was a case even before his injury. He used to take Maddison off, before the 90. So I think definitely the subs impacted us negatively. The game management seems to be a big problem. He needs to sort that out. Look, we're still going well. It was only a draw. Goodison Park's always a tough place to go. So it is frustrating that we ended up giving away the points in the last minute. But again, apart from the Wolves game and this game, I can't remember too many other results too many times we've actually lost the game in the last minute. But it's definitely a pattern that we struggled to contain the opposition in terms of allowing them to create chances, and it was always bound to hurt us at some point, and it ended up hurting us yesterday. So something for Ange to address. Also, he has to address how we play against teams who are really aggressive against us and press us high. Definitely something we need to look at and manage. But overall, look, we're still in a good position. We're still up there in the league and fighting for that top 4 or top 3. Any kind of faint hopes that we had of maybe challenging that top spot probably died with that draw yesterday. But I don't think anyone was realistic looking at that anyway. And I think the top 3 is still very much there.
Yeah, I agree. But having said that, Arsenal 1-0 up at the moment, which is going to make it even more hard if the result stays the same.